What's good, everyone? This is your boy DJ's Raw Uncut Truth. Give you that raw content that you deservedly need. And today I watched a podcast by Kevin Durant. Shout out to KD. I'm glad the brother is back. Um, the NBA is better when Kevin Durant is playing. No matter what you say about Kevin Durant, beneath all of his outside character that the media portrays him, I believe that Kevin Durant's a great dude. I think he's a great dude. And when he had Lavar on, it was a real conversation. It wasn't uh, having someone try to make Lavar look bad or just trying to get credit. It was actually just a man-to-man conversation with the host as well. Um, One thing I know about Lavar listening to him is that he truly loves his family. He loves his wife, Tina Ball. He glowingly talks about Tina. And that's what a man is supposed to do, especially when you're married to someone you care about. It's a sacrifice. Um, ESPN and other Shine networks will not talk about the positives because they're obsessed with hating on Lavar Ball. They take everything he says seriously and they don't use their common sense. But this is why my channel has started. Because people like you, the subs, the real sports fans, you wanted to get the raw, uncut truth that you deservedly need, and you're here. As for Jermaine Jackson, Lavar Ball spoke glowingly of him, even stating that if it wasn't for JJ, none of that would be possible. That JJ listens, that him and Jermaine Jackson can relate because they both come from the hood. Jermaine Jackson's from Detroit, in the inner city. Lavar, South Central LA. They can relate. Also, Jermaine Jackson is not an emotional person. He seems like a person that uses logic and understands his surroundings. But this is the Lavar Ball that people don't tell you about. They tell you the Lavar Ball who's selfish, loud mouth, arrogant. This is what they say. But this man went on not KD's podcast and gave Jermaine Jackson his due. Silence from the major media. They're probably going to take a soundbite of saying that Lavar said his sons could beat this or that, taking it seriously. We got Shanko 2 in the house. Said, what up, DJ? What's good, my brother? We got Corrupt. I'm early. What up? What up, my brother? Did it this time, says DJ. What's good, my brother? Shanko 2 said, Lavar is what you see. Facts. Yeah, that's who you see. I don't get why people get so ticked off that Lavar Ball said his sons could beat this person or he's better than this. I can't believe they take that seriously. I never take it seriously. Where I come from in H-Town, Lavar is one of those people like, yeah, right. You laugh it off. But the usual suspects, you know who they are. They make videos about Lavar Ball constantly. They'll take it seriously, be emotional, being a beta male, and act like he's a serial killer or abusive father or something. And sometimes these are black YouTubers, which is embarrassing. I know a YouTuber that we all know. When he talks about Lavar Ball, he sounds like a black Christine Leahy, but more vocal. a more vulgar Christine Leahy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Shanko 2 says LaVar was not too proud to give JJ that credit. That's what type of LaVar. Wait, let me read that again. LaVar was not too proud to give JJ that credit. That says what type of man LaVar is. He's a real. Yeah, he is. When he gave JJ his credit, he wasn't too prideful. He wasn't arrogant about it. He was glowingly thanking JJ, saying that his son has the coldest mentor in the game. That's love right there. That's respect. We got Oral Phillips in the house. He said, "What up, brothers? What's good, my brother?" Now I'm going to drop the link so you can join the chat. This won't be a long video. I have to go to work, but I want y'all to know this will be. I'll probably be here for an hour or 30 minutes. We'll see. So I just sent the link in the chat. Yeah, you won't see ESPN talk about this. The good thing about LaVar Ball, you really see the game of mainstream media. You see it. They call me Chai. You think they're going to start Melo today? Man, it really depends. It really depends. My guess, they probably start Miles Bridges. I want them to start Lamelo, but I don't know. This coaching staff is a little different. They're on this earn it type of tilt. Even though Lamelo has reportedly had great practices for a rookie that's 19 years old. We'll see what they do. But if I was them, play Lamelo. You got nothing to lose. It's a preseason game. It's not the fact that Lamelo Ball is not playing hard and not coachable. He has been coachable and he's playing hard. I really believe that there's so many egos on the team, and Terry Rozier has so much pride. I bet you if Coach James Borrego asked Terry Rozier to come off the bench to be the sixth man, he would lose it. Terry Rozier seems like one of those players that he sees himself like an all-star. But it was his fault, not just him, but other players. The reason why they got the number 3 overall pick. They call me Chai says, "I'm not liking these coaches, bro. It's scaring me." It's not even just, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not even just LaMelo coming off the bench. It's the rotation in the minutes. If they wanted LaMelo to be the sixth man, but he got 32 minutes per game, you wouldn't hear anything out of me or any fan. But they're spot playing them. You can't be playing them 3 minutes and taking them out and doing that repetitively. And you're barely playing them at the same time. That's not great for his development. Now, I can understand that since there's a lack of off season because of COVID-19, um, the coach may not want to start him right away, but he has to get the minutes to grow his game. LaMelo is a rhythm player. He plays in a rhythm. He's always been a streaky shooter, but when he's on rhythm, you'll hit him. You'll see him shoot 5 straight threes or something. I've seen it. We got the brother who did it this time on, man. What's good, my guy?
Oh man, how you doing this blessed afternoon, brother?
Good, good. I like that primetime video you made, man. Keep making these videos, and n- no doubt you'll be monetized. Just keep going, keep making videos. No, I
Man, I'm sorry, brother. I was just gonna say I believe it's all part of a movement, man. I tell you as well as some of the other platforms I've been observing, you guys, man, are gonna change the wave of the future when it comes to the way we look at media.
Mhm.
It's time, man. This is, we got to put certain things to action. And I think that you're being the change that you want to see, the way that we're promoted on television and the way, the direction that we're going, whether we agree all the times or not, as long as it's peaceful and we can try to reason to get to some type of solution. I think that we're headed in the right place, man. But thank you for having me today.
Absolutely, man. The mainstream media um, is like a pendulum. It's doing the same thing over and over and tricking folks. But the
Yeah.
ones who are real that see it all, we're not fooled by it. And watch what they're gonna do with that KD podcast. Not KD, because KD's a good brother, but I'm talking about the media. ESPN is gonna get a sound bite that they like, probably when he said his sons could beat this or that, put it on ESPN. Then they'll chastise him as a horrible father, but they won't put the fact that he talked glowingly of his wife or the fact that he gave Jermaine Jackson his props. What do you think about that?
It just goes to show you. I've been checking Lavar out honestly for the last, I don't know, 2 to 3 years. And as long as you come at him with respect, he may say it jokingly, but I think he loves the fact to see, men doing positive things. He never gave me an idea that he hated Steph Curry or he hated Michael Jordan, or even when he said some things that seemed to be factual about Bronny James may never be, his dad. All of those things was the media trying to spin it to, as always, make sure that we come at one another instead of looking at it as LeVar Ball has a lot of entertainment in him as well as business. A lot of this is business tactics, and they know that, but they want to demonize him because the fruits of his labor is at the end of the day, even if Leangelo goes overseas, my brother, he's winning.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it. Uh, I was one of the few ones you could call me. You could tell me if I'm wrong. What I'm about to say. I was one of the few YouTubers that said that Jello has already won if he made the NBA or not. I've said this countless of times. Um, that's why I wasn't like worried about him being cut. Got $1 million in the bank. He's popular. Um,
And,
I
and
don't
they
be worried.
seem to be respectful, man. At the end of the day, what I mean, I'm in my mid 30s. So I have to look at LaMelo as a young man, but he's borderline almost a child to me. And I'm like, honestly, them boys are very respectful as long as you come at them correct. If you come at them like the a European guy did, Lamelo, you gonna get you chin check. You know what I mean? Ping pow in the face. But other than that, man, I mean, there's some questionable things, but they're still children. They're still young men. They are men. But Lavar, what he said the other day about Jermaine or whatnot, the question, I'm sorry if I didn't come direct with it. I think that's a great thing that Kevin Durant sent the shout out, but they're going to spin it, man. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets are almost like the equivalent to the bad boy Pistons, and they haven't even played a regular season game yet, man.
Oh yeah, they've been getting hated on the slide. Um, a lot of let's be honest, a lot of people hate Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant for a lot of reasons, unfair reasons. Right now, they're just trying to play basketball, especially Kyrie Irving. I was disappointed seeing Bubba Gump, Shannon Sharp. Uh, now, first he was mad at Laura Ingram and her shine white self
Hmm.
for telling LeBron James to shut up and dribble. And he's right to say that, right?
Yeah.
But now he's telling Kyrie to shut up and dribble. It's hypocrisy, my brother. Hypocrisy.
Yeah, it all depends on who they like, DJ. I mean, honestly, when you think about what Kyrie and Kevin are doing, they're once again opening up the minds of athletes to come. I see in the near future that a lot of these young men, if they're wise, may take a little bit of a hit in the very beginning, but they may hire their own men for journalism, may start coaching up certain brothers. Um, on certain platforms to try to get their own podcast. And you can kind of see it shifting that way. But I mean, they'll have a writer, a journalist, an attorney, a whole team, almost like what LeBron did with Clutch Sports. That would be awesome if we could have some of our mega superstars have like a team of people that talk directly to the media. And all Kyrie can say is, I'm just here, pretty much so I won't get fined. They're pushing for Kyrie and KD to almost borderline be Marshawn Lynch, if it makes sense.
Yeah. And I don't blame Kyrie. He's not doing the media boycott now, but I don't blame him for saying what he said. The media is very toxic, my brother. They
Mm-hmm.
want to spin your words around, but then smile in your face, acting like you're the good media member. But I don't respect that. And I understand why KD is the way he is. He doesn't trust the media. This is the same media that would not give him credit for rings. So he did the same thing LeBron James did, joining another super team, joining another stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, KD's team may be better than the Warriors team. I mean, than the Miami Heat team of the Heatles, of course, but it's still the same thing. Um, I
Yeah.
don't try to hate on LeBron. He's a successful businessman. He got money. He put his homies on, so I respect that part. But let's be honest. Um, the Rachel Nichols and Kendrick Perkins and Bubba Gump, Shannon Sharp. I mean, they're on this payroll, and I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah. Nick Wright, Ryan Windhorst,
Uh-huh.
Richard Jefferson. A lot of those guys are just too transparent. They think we're dumb. I mean, and it happens in other walks of life. You know what I mean? We all was victims of maybe being partially biased to some of the guys that we like. Like I grew up a Cowboy fan, so I turned a blind eye to Michael Irvin a lot of times doing some of his off the field antics, but I've never seen anything like it is today. And they ruin it because LeBron really is a once he's a once in a lifetime talent, but they overdo it when they keep going on and on about him. And as I said on a couple other platforms, they're going to ruin a lot of people's opinion about him if they don't stop with their toxicity. And that's kind of what Kevin Durant said when he was contemplating on coming to play with LeBron. He said, I can't play. It's not really LeBron, it's everything around him. But the older LeBron gets, I have to start saying, man, he is starting to believe some of the tea that's being spilled around him and in a positive way, but in our way, it's almost narcissistic. So it sucks for him, but once again, what you're doing, DJ, and a couple other YouTubers that I pay attention to, you try to just keep it real and try to keep it either basketball or if we're going to talk about one topic per se, we don't have to put so much emotion in it. But a lot of LeBron fans, unfortunately, DJ, they are caught up on emotionalism and then they don't really stay on track with what they're pushing. Sorry.
Again, this is nothing to do with LeBron's character or what he does. We're not hating on the brother.
No,
So
nope.
anybody we're not a channel that hates on brothers. I'll tell you
Mm-mm.
that. But some of his fans are they're the reason why this all occurs. They're the reason why Kyrie hates the media. KD hates the media. But let me read this. Antonio says, how many points LaMelo getting tonight? It's hard to tell. This coach, I'm not trying to be mean about this coach. I like the philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to give LaMelo minutes. Starting or not, he needs to be playing 32 minutes and let him grow like every other rookie in this class. Uh, I mean, I'm going to go with 12 points. It could be more, but that depends on the minutes.
Yeah. But you know what, DJ? One thing I will say about him, and this is an attest to the way he was taught how to play basketball. It all depends on the flow of the game. The other day, they don't talk about that boy having 11 rebounds. I think he had 11 rebounds his debut.
Uh,
Maybe it was even more than that. Well, did he have 11 rebounds?
he had like 10, 10 rebounds.
To me, that was the equivalent to scoring just because they said that his body wasn't ready. So if his
Mm,
body's not ready and he already got close to 10 rebounds or a little more. Just imagine once he gets his quote unquote man body and he starts getting acclimated to the way that these players play, the physicality, man, we might be looking at really a triple double threat as long as he plays within the flow of the game. So every game's going to be different. I just want to see him add more creativity and a change of pace.
I mean, that's credit to Jermaine Jackson. He even has Lamelo running a half court officially. Uh, and that's one thing I wanted Lonzo to do. I see Lonzo bigger and he kept his speed. I want him to go into traffic like LaMelo's doing. I mean, you can't have your little brother go to the free throw line more than him, and he's smaller than him, like weight wise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll be looking at Lonzo. I'm like, man, you might as well dunk that. You know, stop doing all these pretty layups. But he has gotten better as well.
Yeah, he
Uh,
looked good the other night. I had a chance to check them play. Who was they playing the other night? I want to say they was playing Miami. It was Zion that kind of, he got to learn to play with Steven Adams, man.
mm-hmm.
You
So
know,
do.
and Bi, Bi could be challenging Lonzo for most improved player back to back. I got a feeling, man, Bi might jump up another 7 points, man.
Yeah,
Literally.
fire, man. He ain't
Mhm.
got nobody holding him back. And I like what Stan Van Gundy doing. He played Lonzo. You see how efficient. I know everybody gonna talk about the shooting and stuff. I'm not worried about Lonzo shooting. His form is improved. He's gonna make some of those threes. I'm not worried about that. He played them 32 minutes a game. He didn't take them off early or any of that. Thank
Yeah. They remind me of a team, and I said this maybe a couple of streams ago, DJ. You looking at possibly a Dallas team that didn't break up. Mashburn, Jimmy Jackson, and Jason Kidd. They broke
Yeah.
up that team over a female. I mean, I don't want to spill the beans, but like, they broke up a little bit too early, their egos. But I look at, Zoe, what's the boy, Zion, as well as Bi. They got a chance to have a three-headed monster, man. They really do. Plus the pieces around them.
Exactly. That's a good analogy, my brother. Something that the Pelicans did right. I told Shines all alike. I said, y'all better not get rid of Zoe. They wanted to get rid of some of the Lonzo Ball haters because they were so mad at the bubble. Wanted to trade Zoe before the season started. I said, if y'all do that, Bi's not signing that contract. You see, they didn't do that, right?
Right.
I mean, that's Brandon Ingram's best friend right there. You don't play with that.
Right. And chemistry has a lot to do with team sports. See, you get a lot of these men who either, I don't know what level of sports they went to, but when you're that emotional about just foolishness outside of the locker room or off the court or off the field, sometimes you can almost tell, DJ, man, and some of these guys' content, and more importantly, the trash that we read in some of these chat rooms. I'm like, they don't understand that Lonzo must be likable, because if he wasn't that likable by now, he would have like a blemish on his character, like Russell, the guy that Lonzo replaced on the Lakers. The Russell boy may never be able to shape his character. I know it's funny because he snitched and all that, but what a lot of men don't understand is that locker room vibe, that chemistry is a freaking community. And once you violate certain codes, it travels, man. It travels.
Yeah, you're right on that, man. Let me read this one. They call me Chai says it's the way KD lost to them the year before. I know that KD joined the team that he lost to. I get that. But you got to admit the media was attacking KD in a way that was so unprofessional. You at least got to admit that. That was horrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Even.
KD's nicer to the media than I would have been. I
Mm-hmm.
would have told Adam Silver, you can find me any type of money you want. F them. They trying to ruin my name, my reputation, and I'm doing the same thing that LeBron and many others in this generation is doing.
The
What's the
Peyton.
difference? Yeah, what's the difference of what KD did than AD? I know it's a trade, but AD asked for a trade. Am I right?
He did.
and he put his team on Front Street. He bashed the coach. He wore a shirt that said "That's all, folks," and people got on KD more than they got on AD, and that was toxic.
Yeah, it was, man. And I mean, the little skit that they had with Peyton Manning, and I don't know if it was scripted or not, but when they threw that little jab at KD, I just thought, man, they just won't let it go. That's when I was just like, okay,
Uh-huh.
man, you guys are starting to overdo it.
The ESPN ESPYs, that was planned.
Hmm.
And I know Payne Man don't care about what KD be doing, man. He don't care if he joined the freaking Warriors.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the host of the ESPYs. The ESPYs wrote the script. He said, "Payne Man, can you slide in that joke?" He said, "Sure, y'all paying me."
Hmm. And you know what else, DJ? On another way of looking at why the Brooklyn Nets guys are facing so much hate, I do believe that when Kyrie was saying about Steve Nash that he doesn't look at Steve Nash as a coach, I had spoke about this probably when it was about to happen. I said if these brothers don't give Jacques Vaughn a chance, they're going to face high scrutiny from men like us. And I wonder sometimes before we judge, because we should be patient. I wonder if Kyrie and KD were not sold on Steve Nash becoming the coach, and that is another thing that internally that locker room was being observed because I'm not too sold that those brothers wanted Steve Nash. I know they don't hate Steve Nash, but I was under the impression like, dang, y'all keep talking about Black Lives Matter, but they don't matter as coaches.
And I talked about this with black coaches. I'm like one of the top YouTubers on supporting all black coaches because I know how this game is, man. They try to shit on black coaches, give them the horrible positions, rebuilding jobs, and then blame them when the team messes up because you got a cheap owner that don't want to get players. But let me digress. Shout out to Mr. Jones. He says, "Salute to the real. Salute to you, my brother." Let
Mhm.
me go on this one. Um, Jock Vaughn, I think I heard myself in the echo. Was I echoing?
That was my cell phone, brother. That was me. I had to
Okay.
mute my phone. I apologize.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Jock Vaughn is what you call the head coach in disguise. The ownership wanted Steve Nash. Now, the Steve Nash, they're gonna tell you that KD and um, Kyrie wanted Steve Nash. No, they're cool with Steve Nash. But that was the owner's option. So this is what I think happened. The owners wanted Steve Nash. They told Kyrie and Kevin Durant, "Hey, we'll get you the players you want. We'll get you the type of, we'll hook you up with off-court stuff, but we want Steve Nash." That's what I believe happened. And they said they made a deal with them. They said, "We'll keep Jock Vaughn." Jock Vaughn is the X's and O's coach. He's pretty much the head coach. Steve Nash is the figurehead. This is no disrespect to Steve Nash, but this is it's pretty obvious. Look at the timeout huddles when they play Washington, brother. Who was they gathered around the most? Jock Vaughn. Jock Vaughn had the clipboard and everything. He's the actual head coach in disguise. The reason why Jock Vaughn is not complaining about it is because Jock Vaughn don't have the pressure like Steve Nash if they win or lose a championship.
Hmm.
But he knows this probably be Jock Vaughn's last year unless they give him some more dough. Uh, but he's in a good position, but he's really the head coach in disguise.
Yeah, man. There's a whole second tier of black coaches that we've all been observing year after year. That being Mo Cheeks, Sam
Mhm.
Cassell, Jacques Vaughn. We've known these guys, if you've been paying attention, since they were players themselves, and now they're on the benches. And I'm like, okay, nothing against Ty Lue. Why didn't Sam take that job? And we don't know these brothers' personal endeavors. But we're
Yeah.
just saying, as people spectating and lovers of the game itself, Jacques Vaughn should have been not only the interim coach, he should have been the head coach. But DJ, I think you spot on, bro, man. I don't want to tarry too long, what I mean, and cut you off. But that's what I think happened too. I agree with you.
No problem. On my channel, I'll let brothers speak. I ain't gonna cut off people like other channels. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So we're not gonna have these beta male, how these YouTubers they be in their feelings when someone has to get a point across.
Hmm.
Like, hey, Come on, it's not even that serious, man.
Well, you just keep doing what you do, and I guarantee the energy you put out comes right back at you. And
Right.
I know exactly what type of rhetoric and who is specifically, because I've said like they're gonna ruin it. I don't care how many subscribers DJ gets. It's because of, the guys that's in the chat, and it's more importantly, DJ, it's because we know that your spirit is light, and more importantly, you're trying to produce appropriate fruit. You know what I'm saying? If it
Yeah,
makes sense. And that's it, man. It's gonna come back to you. You're gonna watch the harvest, bro. Watch.
exactly. Let me read some of this real quick because I'm about to really go in. Not this one. I'm gonna read that, and then I'm gonna read the Daniel Sims comment. They call me Chai says, but the media was doing too much. Yeah, they are. That's why I love calling them out. Daniel Sims says, and shout out to Daniel Sims. We disagree at times, but he's one of those brothers that we could disagree and keep it all cool. Daniel Sims says the issue with Kyrie is he's called the media pawns, but he is actual pawn himself because he plays in the NBA. Let me correct you, brother. And Daniel Sims, I know you're a big fan of LeBron James, and you don't make no mistake about that. But I don't think um, Kyrie called the media out first. When Kyrie left LeBron because he saw what they were about to do, the media crucified Kyrie. They made him a villain. Yes, Kyrie is different, but the media did not accept Kyrie from being different. I understand Kyrie. Even if I disagree with Kyrie, I understand what he's talking about, the spirit and the nature and believing in the Most High. I understand him.
And not
But,
celebrating Christmas, not to cut you off. He said
oh,
not
yeah,
yeah,
keep on
remember
it, bro.
Rachel Nichols was about to cry, not to
Yeah,
interrupt you and Daniel Sims dialogue. But Daniel, if you could have seen it, man. I knew he was a marked man for death, you know what I mean, when he said Christmas is not a real holiday. They tried to clown him, but they know what that brother's getting at. There's a deeper level of the media versus the so-called pawns, or the pawns versus the media. There's a spiritual thing going on even in a game like the NBA, man.
exactly. See, only real ones like us, brothers who understand the spirit and the nature that's surrounding us, understand what a guy like Kyrie is trying to say. For people like Rachel Nichols, who is a pawn of clutch sports, it's pretty obvious, and many others on their payroll, um, they are pawns. They're mad because Kyrie was being honest. If they weren't pawns, why do YouTubers like me and everybody else make videos? We call this bullshit out.
Yeah. And if you guys remember, Daniel and DJ, do you guys remember when Kyrie first left LeBron? And I'm not sure if DJ was going to get into this. He went on First Take for 3 hours. He gave them his reasons. The brother was very straightforward. He was very transparent. He was open. He cut Max Kellerman off when Max Kellerman tried to add emotionalism and fanboy to it. He told him why he wanted to leave. Yeah, Kyrie was probably, a little bit dismissive towards Max because Max kept calling him the second banana, trying to disrespect that man to his face. But he
Uh-huh.
came on for 3 hours. And I thought that was another sign. I'm trying to let you all know where I'm at. And y'all still talking about flat earth? We still talking about the flat earth, man. We still talking about that, making fun of this man with that.
Yeah. Um, Here's the problem. The media wants all brothers to think like they think, but they don't realize when brothers who are spiritually aligned, who understand how the world works, they just think differently than them. And they don't want to accept it. They want us to be boxed in and thinking like them. But not everybody has a commercial brain. Not everybody wants to be a follower. Kyrie clearly has a ruling class mentality. He doesn't want to be led. That's why he didn't like when LeBron James called him kid. He said, "Kid, I'm a grown man. I pay bills just like you. Don't be calling me no damn kid." But again, this ain't nothing against LeBron. You know, I gave LeBron credit in the bubble. When
Mm.
everybody was saying it was a Mickey Mouse ring, I gave LeBron credit for being focused when other players like the Clippers players weren't. So hey, I call it how it is. I'm fair. Oh, let me read this one, brother. So they call me Chai says, we must admit, though, just like LeBron fans, which I am myself, we do the same thing with the Ball Bros. Here's the difference. And anyone who knows my channel knows the difference is when they play really bad, I call them out. Now we have other fans of the Ball family that make excuses, but I got on Lonzo so bad for the bubble. People were really questioning me if I'm a fan of the Ball family. I mean, I really got into Lonzo. I said he can't be doing them two-handed layups. He can't be he can't be tacking a basket all week because he's 6'6". And then I said, this is one of the main things I said. I was like, Lonzo, are you trying to get some money? Because you ain't looking like it. And then for Lamelo, I got on him in his bad defense. Now it's improving, but
Yeah.
I've always said Lamelo got to work on his defensive stance.
And you know what, DJ? Both of them symbolize the face of different things, man. When you say the Ball brothers, or excuse me, they call me Shy. The face of the Ball brothers technically is LeVar and the way he goes about being a father. We
Right.
all know that that's what we are defending on this platform. Man, he makes tons of mistakes. We would probably do it different, but at the end of the day, he got three boys that are trying to do the right thing, playing the game, and it's almost like a trade. He taught his boys how to play basketball, and it's the fruits of their labor. Where on the other side, when we look at LeBron, who is also gifted by the Most High, I mean, it goes without saying, the physical gifts he has, none of us can argue. But what he has drawn from the media and the darling and just the fandom. Yes, we saw it with Michael, we saw it with Kobe, we saw it with the European players like Dirk Nowitzki and now with Luka. But it's almost like LeBron does not even need all these fanboys and ESPN. And I believe he would be more famous to, I hate to say it, the brothers in the so-called hood, because we're sick and tired of what's behind him. And I wish he knew that. And maybe he does. He just doesn't care because they paying him. I don't know.
You're right. If and I mean, Will B says, "All praise to the Most High, brother. All praise to the
All
Most High.
praises.
All
Yep.
praise. Don't forget that. All the stuff you guys got, man, is because of the Most High. So when you're up and when you're down, give praise to the Most High. You gotta be consistent to get a blessing. Uh, Life I says, peace and salute to you, DJ and bros. Thank you, my brother. Devin Fuller says, you see, Skip Bayless said he doesn't see the dog in any of the Ball brothers. Yeah, he's stereotyping. I told y'all that. Um, he's stereotyping. He wants to project them as light-skinned softies using colorism. It's pretty obvious. But this is y'all guy, Skip Bayless, man. He so-called fight for people's causes, I guess.
Yeah. Skip Bayless said today that he has Kareem all the way down at the bottom of his top 10. I had to tune it off. I said, you see the type of jargon that's being promoted out here, man. Just trying to trash Kareem, but God forbid if he passes anytime soon, just wait, man. They're gonna be all over his sack, trying to flip the script about how much they love him and how great he is. It's just that's the media though. They pick sides every morning, man. They're playing a role.
I gotta say this. I see some trolls in here. It's not like. Let me say this first. Uh, it's not like most of us have called Leangelo a star or anything else. So by you to keep trolling like this, you're on timeout until you grow up. I ain't block you, but you're on timeout. This is an anti-troll zone. And moderators, make sure if there's any shines, you have the permission to time out or block. This is for all the moderators. You have that permission. Sorry about that, brother.
No, you good, man. I mean, that's just what we notice every morning, and it keeps getting regurgitated. The Patriots, or at one time the Patriots, but now it's Tampa Bay. the Dallas Cowboys, LeBron, the Lakers, LeBron, James Harden. It's the same stuff every day, and it just, it can become nauseating, man. And once again, I can't say it enough, bro. This is going to change the way people go about their media and their stories. Unfortunately, I believe some of them be watching y'all channels. I believe that with all my heart, man.
Oh yeah, they do. Someone says, "Is this guy Hebrew Israelite?" It doesn't matter uh, what who did it this time is. No offense, no offense. All I
No,
know,
you
he's a
good.
good brother that believes in the Most High, and these labels that we put on people. It really doesn't matter. If you live for righteousness and for a good conscience, then that's all that should matter.
Yeah, yeah. I really don't. I don't worry about that, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, I keep telling you, bro, the energy you put out, it's gonna come back to you, man. So
Huh?
sometimes I try my best not to even pay attention to that madness, but it does. It overlaps, man. Because look at what Kyrie. We don't even necessarily have to agree with everything the brother's saying, because there is some questionable moments when it comes to Kyrie's his thought process. But at the end of the day, he's his own man. All we can do is respect that. Same thing with Lavar Ball. He's his own man. We might not all agree, but he's his own man. We're tired of seeing the same media generated mama NBA cares crying over and over again, trying to put brothers
Hey,
down, because that's the NBA for you. The NBA really is not even for us unless we on the court making them money. They don't want to see you
bro,
really speaking.
bro, you know what's funny, man? You hit it right on the head. And shout out to Sarah Shower Johnson. Thank you for being in the chat, sister. Uh, Here's the funny part: if Lavar's name was LaQuisha, and she got 5 kids by 5 different baby daddies, and one of her kids were in the draft, they would have said she was a strong woman. She could be loud too. She was a strong woman, and that's a great mother. She could act a fool in the draft, and they'll still say it. But they tripping
Mhm.
off Lavar, who did things the right way. He's not always right. Man, nobody's always right, but I don't have to always say he's not always right. But I say it so that Shines don't have an excuse to say,
And let's be fair
you
too,
know,
DJ. I seen something the other day that actually made me, do backtrack. Um, the holidays. Drew Holiday and his brothers. You know what I mean? He has two loving parents. And it is true. I'm like, well, yeah, they don't talk about them as much, probably because their father is not out there like that. But that's no discredit. There's a lot of NBA families in there who did it the right way,
uh-huh.
just like the Ball family. It's just with Lonzo, Lamelo, and Jello. I'll be honest with you. Again, I feel like the hate is really because of their father. It ain't even about them kids, man, or excuse me, them young men.
Exactly.
And that's the NBA for you. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who, still taking the blue pill, man. So they don't see that we see things on a deeper level. Like they hate LeVar Ball for even saying, "Stay in your lane." The girl was attacking him the whole time. You know what I mean? He raped me, Leahy, off of Fox Sports Net. She just
Yeah,
kept
man.
coming at that dude, and he didn't pay her attention. They used to hang black men for whistling at so-called white women, but this brother was ignoring her on the Cowherd show, and then all he said is, "Stay in your lane." Man, she could have cried. She could have died the way he
Hey,
just
bro,
said, and he ignored her. Go
you
ahead.
know what's funny? If Tina Ball didn't have that stroke, she would have slapped Chrissy Lane's big old head and tell her stop messing with her man. That's why I wish Tina Ball did not have that stroke. Because y'all thought LeVar was crazy, man. I heard Tina was like the wild one. She's the one that don't play.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously, she's done a good job too. I think that's what they hate, man. They hate the nuclear family, regardless of color or race, because there is so-called white families, full white, that promote, a strong male figure, a supportive mother, or a strong mother, or two strong parents, dare I say. And it's like the NBA don't want to hear that. They like hearing the garbage. The NFL is the same way, but I feel like the NBA keeps it on a longer stretch because they like to play off people's emotions. And soon brothers will wake up and see, like, if I didn't know any better, the NBA continues to keep this narrative, what keeping us on our knees and begging for things instead of going out there with a ruling class mentality. But that's another topic for another time.
Man, you're on fire. That's why I got this brother on, man. This dude's a real one. And Ruben said, DJ, I think he Hebrew Israelite. Man, I don't care if he's a Muslim, atheist, secular, Christian. He's a brother. And one thing I preach on my channel, we support all brothers, no matter what ideology you think. Uh, if you're real, you're good with me. That's how I operate.
Yeah. Well, on that note, my brother, I got to get ready to do this Zoom with some of the kids, man, that I work with. But again, I can't thank you enough for having me on, man. I'm going to continue to try to listen tonight. All praises to the Most High, to all the trolls, and I'll talk to y'all later, man.
Yeah, man, you're welcome to join anytime, man. Just let me know.
Yes, sir. Be blessed.
Me too. That was a good one. All right, we got one more before I go. I'm sending the link. Young Greasy says, "What are your thoughts about Jello's route? In which ways he could go? Could go based on new and past decisions." Well, I think he's probably going to the G League. But if it was me, I don't know. I actually did want him to play for the London Lions at one point. They were the only fan base, the only team that showed Jello love. They showed Jello more love than Lamelo when it was out there. Super Team VIP says, "You killing me with this bubble gum comment." Yeah, man. VAR taught his kids to grind and work ethic. That's easy and done. All right, we got Trey.
What's going on with it, bro?
What's good, man?
What up?
We got Owens. We
I
got
just
Ruben in the house.
I just want to say that Lamelo Ball gonna be the next Jordan out of his family because like when it comes to Lonzo, he gonna be like Magic Johnson. You feel what I'm saying? And all three gonna
I ain't,
be
I
like.
ain't, I ain't gonna go that far, man.
I mean, think about it. He got the flashy passing, and I thinking what his daddy doing. He doing like something that unheard of. I mean, think about it. If Doc Rivers was like that with his son, he would have a way better career. Think about it. Once you think about Doc Rivers' son, he had the same type of career as Lonzo. Same point, same everything. Everybody trashed him, said you ain't gonna be like your dad. And when it comes to all three Ball brothers, all of them is very talented. Like the middle age got 3-point shot that nobody believes in. The youngest one, he gonna shine brighter than anything. And the problem.
Wait. Hey, brother.
Hey, he got off. What happened to him?
I don't know. Trey. Hey, fix your connection, brother. You went off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Ruben, are you on there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Man,
just
I was
wanted
going to comment on that.
I I just wanted to say the thing with the family, that's like old stuff. Like that's like in the '50s they started that stuff with Gloria Steinem. This women's liberal stuff, this women's lib to make women independent, and then they kept going through Beyonce and all this stuff, is preaching that stuff, and that's why all this the NBA only shows the mother and stuff, and uh, they've been trying to destroy the man forever, man. They can't
Exactly.
they can't show a strong man, not black or white, just a strong man, period, because it takes a man to raise a man, not a woman, you know. So it's just the breakup of the family. They've been preaching that stuff forever through welfare and Section 8, all these government programs that women sign up for, and just media, everything, just boom, 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 anything to get away from God's design of the household. The man's not in charge, and it's just boom. My cousin's in the NBA, and he got caught up in that stuff too. His dad was always in his life, but as soon as he got to the NBA, he's like, "Oh, screw my dad." You know, it's all about the female and stuff, and we didn't see him. We just didn't see him the whole time he was in the NBA. Now he's broke, so now we see him now again. But uh,
Exactly, man.
I
That's
ain't
why
gonna
you
tell
got.
you. I ain't gonna tell you his name, but he's well known, so I ain't gonna tell you
No,
his
I
name.
believe you. I believe you. These stories are very common, man. And what's your name again, brother?
It's Ruben.
Ruben. Okay. Owens.
What's
What
up?
you think about this topic? Lavar Ball saying that how much Jermaine Jackson uh, was so important for Lamelo Ball to grow.
I agree. I totally agree with that, and I think also LeVar helped him out a lot with putting all three of his kids through everything to get them to the NBA. And I wanted to go off of what that guy was saying earlier. I don't think Melo is going to become next Michael Jordan or anything like that, but I think he's going to be the best ball.
Yeah.
He's the youngest. He can learn from everyone above him.
Yeah, that was Trey. He's a good brother. We fans, we want our favorite players to be like the greatest thing. So it's pretty normal. But I agree with you that um, it's really simple to me. I think that LaMelo could be the best ball brother. And I always kept it like that. Now, to what level he'll be, that's up to him.
Yeah.
It's too early to tell with all these players.
Jermaine Jackson, man, he is like people don't realize how important a mentor is in your life, who's been through the same path that you're trying to achieve. Is right there next to you, showing you the way, you know, and also helping you with connections and stuff. That's very important because Lavar couldn't do that for Lamelo, but Jermaine Jackson becoming a friend first, and then coach, friend, somebody you respect, mentor, so he makes the right move, so he doesn't make any mistakes. And Lamelo's in total submission to him, and that's another thing because he has to respect him, and then he becomes in submission to the guy. Then he can really win without being in submission to somebody who's above you, like as far as like been there and done it. That helps. That's a key right there.
Exactly, man. The worst thing that can happen to, and I think we just lost Owen. The worst thing that can happen to any young brother is when they get emasculated. And when you emasculate a man, he loses his leadership, his spirit, his direction. And that's why I don't like when mothers cuss out their sons, embarrassing them. That's emasculating.
That's a father's job, not a woman's job.
Exactly. And we're not anti-woman or anything. I'm the first one to tell you, I've seen good women. My mother was a great woman. She still is a great woman. Married my father for 30 plus years. Today's time, you don't see that. And we got to bring fathers back. Did you see how happy Kevin Durant was when LeVar was talking about fatherhood? You could just hear in his voice, KD was so happy. And that's what these athletes yearn for. Of course, he said he loves his mama and his mom's the MVP. But KD, he wants that fatherhood. Now, KD has a dad, even though ESPN never brought him up.
Of course
He
not.
has a dad. What you gonna say, brother?
I said, of course they didn't bring his father up. They can't make the man look good. They're part of the agenda, destroying the freaking man.
Oh
Destroy the
yeah,
man,
that's what it
destroy the
is.
world. That's how it works.
And we got busters like I'll say his name, Ticket TV and others. Like to be a black man and to act like just like everyone else, just dissing LeVar. He doesn't even sound black doing that. He sounds just like this. Is what I said. He's like the Black Christine Leahy, but more vulgar.
Lavar is a champ, man. To go against this, the whole status quo, start your own league, uh, start your own brand, come into the league, just stuff like that. It's going against the total NBA. Like I'm a business owner. I'm gonna go out and achieve my goals and dreams, in America. That's you got to give respect to that man. None of these other players or people on television, they don't have the courage to do that.
No, they don't, because they were raised by mama. They was raised by mama. So that's why they acting effeminate right now. You realize the people who are really mad about LeVar that are black men, they were not raised by fathers. Most of them, you can tell. You can absolutely tell. Bartran says the Ball family can leverage the NBA. That cannot catch fire among other parents. So true. They got the power of the Brandon.
They do.
Philip Hill, yeah, Philip Hill says nowadays they want men to be feminine. So true.
This is my own belief, but I think growing up, people used to say stuff like, "Oh, you're scared of girls," and most men are. You know, I I work in the gun industry, and we have a sign on the wall. The guy from Game of Thrones with no balls. We have a picture of him, and you have to sign it, the picture, if it says, "My wife made me return my gun." So if they return a gun, they have to sign that picture. And I've had customers come in and say, "Oh, my wife won't let me have the gun." And I'm like, and I asked him, "Who runs the house, you or your wife?" And the guy's like, "My wife, my wife, the mother of my kids." And I couldn't believe he even said that. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad right now. You really see who's men when they come into the gun store, and their wife is with them, and their wife would be on the other side of the store. And I'm like, "Here, this is your wife. You got to buy the gun together, right?" And she said, "No, no, I'm not touching it." It's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that never works out when the wife or the girlfriend wears the pants of the household. Bartrand says AB the hero showed a clip of the exact shot that Jermaine was practicing with Lamelo. That was his first points. See, Jermaine Jackson, I don't care what anyone says, he was God's sin for Lamelo. He has mentored him. He has showed him the ropes. And the only reason why we haven't seen a full extent of Lamelo Ball, let's be honest, he's not getting the minutes. Um, it is what it is, and hopefully he plays more tonight. Bartrand said, "My opinion on my first point, you have heard of fresh rookie day out to reporter. I don't spend money." Yeah, that was very smart what Lamelo said about him not spending his NBA money. And we could all say he's rich before he came to the league. We get all that. But that means you're raised right. Now, is LaMelo the only rookie saying that? No, I'm sure there's other rookies prior to you that does the same thing. If I was an NBA player, if I had that talent, my father would have told me, "Hey, son, you give me some endorsement deals. You got Nike. You got to check some Nike. You got to check Adidas or one of those shoe brands. You got to check for apparel. You could live off that. You don't need to use that NBA money." That's exactly what he would have told me.
Lamelo had to be humble enough to accept Jermaine Jackson too, because you got to give him credit too, because he's really young, and he has to be wise enough to recognize a mentor and just to listen to what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
But most guys can't recognize that this guy can help me and get me to where I need to go. I need to listen to everything he's telling me, especially when you got already got money in the bank. That money will blind you.
Facts, bro. You know, you know, these kids got to learn the hard way. Don't have a kid unless you're like 30. Spend wisely, invest in stocks and mutual funds, learn how to balance your checkbook. These are things that kids should know after graduating high school. I learned all that once I graduated high school. Be surprised how many young folks who don't know how the world works. They're the same people complaining about Lavar Ball and his sons, but they don't realize there are a lot of athletes out there who's playing pros, who's broke after they played in the pros, and they'll tell you they wish they had a father that would have taught them how to manage their life. They'll tell you that.
My family member is one of them.
We all got a family member like that. You know what's interesting? My father was like a father to most of my nieces and to his nieces and nephews, because most of them didn't have a father, and he took that role. You know, even if you don't have a father, just it could be your head coach at a sports team. It could be your uncles. It could be a trusted neighbor.
Definitely find a mentor who's been there and done it, who you look up to, who can get you where you need to get. You got to have one.
Absolutely. But I'm about to end this chat. I'm about to get ready for work. I may have a quick clip of tonight's game. This quote unquote Lamelo versus Cole Anthony, even though it's preseason. I'm sure that's going to be. I'm sure that's going to be over analyzed. But
All right,
shout
man.
out.
Appreciate it.
All right. Shout out to Nathaniel Oliver. Said, "What's good, family? What's good?" Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, like all the videos. Peace.